Not exactly what we were looking for in extras tonight, as the Giants fall to the Dodgers in 12 innings. And no, they don't get the sweep at Chavez Latrine. This is Giants Roundup. It is Wednesday, August 15th. You can follow on Twitter, join the Crooked Kite page on Facebook. Most importantly, please be kind and hit that subscribe button. And at least they got 2 out of 3. That's not bad, but they could have used the sweep. Unfortunately, that piece of shit known as Yasiel Puig played tonight, and we should hear punishment hopefully tomorrow on how many games Yasiel Puig will sit out for. But this loss hurts the Giants. Maybe not too terribly bad, but they fall back to 500 at 61 and 61, 5.5 games back of the division. They are, see where they are as in terms of the wild card. But the wild card is one that's starting to get a little bit further out of reach, with the Cardinals surging right now. And St. Louis is now 1 game back of the wild card at this point. The Giants are back to 6 games back of the wild card. But more importantly, now the schedule does get a bit easier with does get a bit easier now with them being done with LA. They don't play the Dodgers again until, believe it or not, his final series of the year. So not until the end of the next game will be against the Dodgers is on September 28th, after my birthday. But the next 3 teams they play are going to be against teams that are in last place. They will get an off day tomorrow, then they will fly to Cincinnati for a 3-game series against the Reds on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then head to Queens after that for a 4-game series starting Monday. Then after that, they head home to play the Texas Rangers. So that they get a bit of a break of the schedule till August 27th. These are pretty much must win at this point. The margin of error is pretty much 0. The Giants can't afford to lose at this point. The Bats need to take advantage of the last place teams. If they fall flat, I think it's game over. But as I said, punishment was not handed out. Yasiel Puig did play tonight, and unfortunately, he scored the first run in the 6th inning off of a hit by Jock Peterson. 1-0 Dodgers. And then Machado doubles to left. It scores, yes, everybody's favorite Dodger, Justin Turner. It is 2-0 Dodgers. And then Matt Kemp singles to center. It scores Manny Machado, 3-0. And then the Giants did get extra life by a home run by Andrew McCutchen in the bottom, on the top of the 8th inning. Gets out of here into center field. It scores Hunter Pence. It scores Chase Darno, 3-3. Then the Dodgers do score in the bottom of the 12th on a sacrifice by Dozier. It scores Grandal. That would be your final score, 4-3. Not the greatest outing from Kermit tonight. Derek Holland goes 4 2/3 innings. Didn't allow any earned runs. That was good. The walks were not great. 4. Allowed 6 hits. Struck out 7. Moranta, though, did allow an earned run in 1 1/3 innings pitched. Ray Black was off tonight. And also that's on the partially he did not get a break from the umpiring. Tried to nibble the corners. He just did not get the calls. and ended up surrendering 2 earned in 1 inning pitched. ERA goes up to 4.6. Wildly effective, walks 2, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. Mark Melancon, 1 walk, 1 hit, got out of it. But just Casey Kelly, not good. 2 walks, 2 hits. And it just finally was the straw that broke the camel's back. Ryu was excellent on the mound, only surrenders 3 hits, 6 innings pitched. JT Chargois, 1 scoreless inning. It was Caleb Ferguson with the bad 8th inning that caused the Giants to go to extras, and then Pedro Baez gets the win. And the Giants were lucky to they only had 6 hits, but they made it count tonight, whereas it could have been worse. The Dodgers only scored 4 runs, but the Giants did surrender 14 hits, which was not all that wonderful. The 14 hits, and as a team, they walked 10 batters. That's not good either. You can't walk batters. They limited the damage, but I think that they deserve to lose tonight. Machado goes 3 for 5. Matt Kemp 2 for 4. Pique Hernandez 2 for 2. Puig 1 for 4. And just the bullpen looks a bit gassed. But these are now, as I said, now you just got to start. They now need to take advantage of what they have, a nice break in the schedule. Take care of business against the Reds. Get 2 of 3 there. Get 3 of 4 in Queens. And, of course, they need series wins at this point. They can't afford too many losses at this point. The tragic number for the Giants would be 35. So, yeah, they don't have much room for error. But this is the time to make a run, but I think at this point too, you got Hunter Strickland is going to be coming back in. Hunter Strickland's due to come off the disabled list on August 18th. So there will probably be a roster move being made. I wouldn't totally be surprised if Sam Dyson gets showcased on the next game to possibly showcase him for a trade. So I totally wouldn't be surprised if they use Sam Dyson to close. And I think Sam Dyson's going to potentially get showcased for a trade in the next game. Or they could, I don't know if Casey Kelly has options. They could move Kelly back to the minors. He didn't look that great tonight, but I think he's more. We were all thinking maybe he's going to take over the block spot in the rotation. Nah. Now the other big this is the one that the Giants are going to have to think about. Can you trust Block? Block did not look great in his last start. Do you? You may have to. I think with Dyson, you're going to have to waive him. I realistically think at this point they're going to have to get Dyson's salary off the board. That way, the Giants can go out and get a number 5 starter. The options aren't great, but there's maybe a Marco Estrada out there. You could maybe look at Francisco Liriano, but they maybe need a viable number 5 starter, or you're going to have to cling on to hope that Jeff Samardzija could be good to go on September 1st. And try going with you may see a 4-man rotation for the next 2 weeks. That is not exactly the best idea, but I think this is a rock and a hard place. And maybe the last couple starts for Chris Stratton. Maybe Stratton could be turning a corner. Do you go back to Chris Stratton? I'm not sure about that just yet. Or do you just play the bullpen game every fifth game? And I think that's what could happen. I could realistically see the Giants go with a bullpen game every fifth game. I don't know if they're going to send Casey Kelly back down, but something's got to change. But after what I saw tonight, Kelly looked more like the guy we saw when he was back in the show a few years ago. He looked more like a journeyman pitcher. He did not look like someone who was a former a rehabilitation project. But it is only still a small sample size, so I'm not going to try to weigh too much into it. But still, I think the Giants are going to be going four-man. I think four-man rotation could be a realistic option for the next 2 weeks. We'll see what happens. But Block's much better out of the pen. And I think simply, I totally wouldn't be surprised they start the waivers process on Sam Dyson to free up salary to acquire a starter here. And it's, like I said, it'll be a Liriano type starter, so we'll see what happens there. But now it's just on to Cincinnati, and I think hopefully this is the point where the Giants season has turned around. They need to get these wins against the Cincinnatis, against the Mets. So we will see how that goes. And now enjoy the day off, and then let's see who the Giants will see, who the probables will be in the next. Friday's probables will be, it'll be Derek Rodriguez against, let's see, it'll be Derek Rodriguez going up against Anthony Sclafani in game 1. Game 2 will be, this will be a 4 o'clock game on Tuesday. We'll be back on Saturday. It'll be Madison Bumgarner against Matt Harvey. So they are going to be going with looks like they are going to go with a 4-man rotation for the time being. We'll see how long. So they could go 4-man for 2 weeks or so. So it's looking like the Giants will go with the 4-man rotation. We'll see how well this works out. And as I say, I totally wouldn't be surprised though if they start the waivers process with Dyson in order to make a waiver trade for another starter at this point. And then it'll be Andy Suarez against Luis Castillo in game 3 before they head to Queens. And we'll see what imminent moves get made between now and the time they head to Queens. As I say, they don't play LA again till September 28th, and it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. If the Giants are out of it by then, I think that would be the time the Giants may want to plunk, maybe want to teach Yasiel Puig a lesson and throw one and hit him in the ribs. I wouldn't blame him if Bumgarner gets the right to hit Yasiel Puig in the ribs in the final series. And if you're going to get suspended, I'd rather have it be the beginning of next season than in the postseason. A lot of that will hinge on where the Giants are by then. And we shall see what happens. But I think there's going to be some sort of a waiver move. I think something's going to happen to the waiver wire in the next few days. And I think it'll be Dyson heading onto the waiver wire. With Hunter Strickland returning, I think Dyson's going to be the odd man out, get his salary off the books. That way you can go out and acquire another starter here before August 31st. All right, let's go to the MLB Roundup for tonight. In Minneapolis, the Minnesota Twins beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 6-4, taking the win. Gabriel Moya taking the loss, Edgar Santana. Josh Harrison goes 3 for 5 for the Pirates. Logan Forsythe goes 2 for 3 for the Twins. Jose Barrios, not a good outing today. 4 runs, 3 earned, and 7 hits in 3 2/3 innings pitched. Chris Archer, 4 earned in 5 innings pitched, strikes out 7. Pittsburgh has dropped 3 in a row and quickly fading out of the playoff race at this point. In Detroit, the White Sox beat the Tigers 6-5, taking the win. Carlos Rodon taking the loss. Jordan Zimmerman, who gets pounded for 6 earned runs in 5 innings pitched. Jose Abreu goes 3 for 5. Yolmer Sanchez goes 3 for 5 for the White Sox. 2 for 3 for Nicholas Castellano for Detroit. At Wrigley today, the Cubs beat the Brewers 8-4, taking the win. Kyle Hendricks taking the loss. Junior Guerra, who surrenders 6 earned in 3 2/3 innings pitched. Mike Moustakas goes 3 for 5 for Milwaukee. And then Jason Hayward goes 3 for 5 for the Cubbies. Anthony Rizzo hits his 18th home run of the year. And now Milwaukee all of a sudden only has a one game cushion in the wild card, as now St. Louis is breathing right down their back in the wild card race in the NL, and St. Louis is coming for you. In Oakland, the A's get blanked by the Mariners 2-0, taking the win. James Pazos taking the loss. Yasmero Petit, who surrenders 2 earned in 1 inning pitched. Nick Martini goes 3 for 5 for Oakland today. And for Seattle, Gene Segura goes 4 for 5 for Seattle. B. Gordon hits his 2nd home run of the year. Mike Leake, 8 scoreless innings for the Mariners. Brett Anderson, 7 2/3 scoreless innings. And now Oakland falls 2 back of Houston in the division. And Seattle did get a bit of bad news today, as James Paxton is heading to the disabled list. And this is the worst, with a left forearm bruise, and this is the worst possible time for Seattle to lose James Paxton when they need him the most. So I totally would not be surprised if we see Seattle all of a sudden become active in the waiver wire to maybe look at bringing in a Matt Harvey to shore up the Mariners' rotation down the stretch. In Philly, the Phillies beat the Red Sox 7-4, taking the win. Tommy Hunter taking the loss. Joe Kelly. Brock Holt goes 2 for 3 for the Red Sox. Wilson Ramos goes 3 for 4 for the Phillies today. Nathan Eovaldi surrenders 3 runs, 1 earned, in 5 innings pitched. Vince Velasquez, 4 walks, 3 earned, in 2 1/3 innings pitched for the Phillies today. And I think he might have left the game hurt today. No, he was just pulled early. Okay. But the rest of the bullpen was definitely good for the Phillies right tonight. In Baltimore, the Mets beat the Orioles 16-5, taking the win. Zach Wheeler Taking the loss, Dylan Bundy, who gets pounded for 7 earned in 5 and a third innings pitched. Brandon Nimmo goes 5 for 5 for the Mets. And then Tim Peterson for earned in 2 innings pitched for New York. Evarth Phillips for earned without recording an out. Mike Wright Jr. to earned in 1 innings pitched. And now Baltimore is already on their 85th loss on the season, already 15 away from 100 losses. In Tampa, in the Bronx, the Rays beat the Yankees 6-1, taking the win. Ryan Yarborough taking the loss. Luis Cessa, who surrenders 5 earned in 3 and a third innings pitched. Malik Smith goes 3 for 5 for the Rays. And Sonny Gray, better outing out of the pen today. Jake Faria only goes 3 and a third for Tampa Bay. In the Battle of Ohio, the Reds lose to the Indians 4-3, taking the win. Dan Otero. Taking the losses, Cody Reed. Brad Hand gets his 4th save of the year for the Indians. Jose Peraza goes 3 for 5 for the Reds. Tucker Barnhart 2 for 3. And Shane Bieber 3 earned in 4 and a third innings pitched. Robert Stevenson, the opener, surrenders 2 earned in 1 2/3 innings pitched. Cody Reed 2 earned in 3 2/3 innings pitched for the Reds. In Atlanta, the Braves beat the Marlins 5-2, taking the win. Kevin Gossman taking the loss. Harlan Garcia. Freddie Freeman goes 2 for 3 for the Braves. Charlie Culberson 3 for 4. But this game will more be remembered for something very stupid done by Jose Urena today, as he goes in and hits Ronald Acuna Jr. with the very first pitch of the game. The bench is cleared. But that was absolute bush league by Urena. Rightfully gets ejected. He will probably get suspended at least 5 games. I think it should be 10 games. Dumb, selfish, and stupid. Very bush league of Urena. And if I were Miami, I would even think about maybe DFAing his ass after tonight. I mean, I make that joke sometimes that you hit a batter that's owning you in the ribs, but I would never actually mean it. But also, this just doesn't look good for Don Mattingly, who is likely managing for his job here. He does have he only has 1 year left on his contract. And it's shit like this, why I totally would not be surprised if Don Mattingly is fired this offseason in Miami. So we'll see what happens there. But this should be at least a 10-game suspension for Jose Urena. 1 start for the hit, 2 for being dumb, selfish, and stupid. In Houston, the Astros clobber the Rockies 12-1, taking the win. Garrett Cole taking the loss. Tyler Anderson, 12 strikeouts for Cole in 6 innings pitched today. Yuli Gurriel goes 2 for 3 for the Astros. Evan Gattis 3 for 4. Colorado, Nolan Arenado goes 2 for 3. Tim Anderson surrenders 9 earned in 4 and a third innings pitched. Harrison Musgrave 3 earned in 2 innings pitched. And now Houston gained the game on Oakland. That's important. Colorado and LA are now a game and a half back in the West. In Kansas City, the Blue Jays beat the Royals 6-5, taking the win. Marco Estrada. Taking the loss is Jorge Lopez, who surrenders 6 earned in 4 2/3 innings pitched. Salvador Perez goes 3 for 4 for Kansas City. And for Toronto, Kevin Pillar goes 2 for 3. In St. Louis, the Cardinals continue their hot streak by sweeping the Nationals 4-2. Taking the win is Austin Gomber. Taking the loss, Jeremy Hellickson. Bud Norris gets his 23rd save of the season. And now the Cardinals are just one game back of the wild card. Yes, the Cardinals have pulled a Lazarus. And you know what? I think I've been saying this more and more. It's time to start really thinking of the idea of making Mike Schilt the full-time manager next year of the Cardinals. Harrison Bader goes 3 for 4 for the Cardinals. And not a good night for Daniel Ponce de Leon, who surrenders 2 earned and 2 innings pitched. And Washington back under 500, lost 4 in a row, 9 games back of the division. They're almost out of it, too, at this point. In San Diego, the Angels sweep the Padres 3-2, taking the win. Jose Alvarez taking the loss, Kirby Yates. And Felix Pena gives the bullpen a break today, 1 unearned run in 6 innings pitched. And now let's see what the division looks like at this point. As in terms of division and wild card. Looks like Boston's in cruise control, 10 games back for the Yankees in the division. Yankees hold the number 1 wild card spot with 3.5 games up. Cleveland in cruise control in the Central. Houston now 2 games up on Oakland. Oakland still holds the 2nd wild card. Seattle 2.5 back of the 2nd wild card. 4.5 back of the division. Atlanta first place. Philadelphia 2 games back and holds the 2nd wild card. Washington 9 games back, 7 back of the wild card. The Cubs 3-game lead in the division. The Brewers holding the 2nd wild card at this moment, with St. Louis breathing right down their back with a game behind them, 4 games back of the division. And they're red hot right now. Arizona a game and a half over Colorado, and LA 2.5 back of the wild card. And the Giants 5.5 back of the division, 6.5 back of the wild card. And tonight down on the farm, here we go with the scores. The Grizzlies lose to the 51s 9-6. Taking the win is Eric Hanhold. Taking the loss, Riley Farrell. Rogelio Armenteros 4 earned in 5 2/3 innings pitched. Strikes out 7. Farrell surrenders 4 earned in 1 inning pitched. Walks 2. And tonight's attendance was 4,927 at Chansey Park. And the River Cats Come on, I want the score. Load, 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 load. Come on, load. This thing's not wanting to load the AAA scores tonight. I'm going to try somewhere else tonight for the PCL scores. I'm going to have to try elsewhere. Give me a second. My main site's not wanting to work tonight. I hate technical difficulties. And the River Cats win 8-5 in 10 innings tonight. Aramis Garcia sacrifices, so it looks like the River Cats went extras. They were successful. So in 10 innings. I'd like to know the winners and losers, though, who won the pitching line. Well, I guess we're just not going to get it tonight, so just going to have to conclude it. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back, and thanks for subscribing. I am starting to see the subscribers climbing a little bit, so that's wonderful. Keep up the subscribing. We will see you Saturday night. Good night.